Okay, so we're getting into gear.
Okay.
So this is actually a multifaceted question. So, what were your favorite and least favorite pieces of gear? And then, are you going to make any changes for future hikes? Are you going to swap anything out?
Okay, this is a loaded question, huh?
It
Okay,
is,
so
but we can get into it.
yeah. So favorite gear, I have to say hands down was my Garmin. I mean, I had the Garmin Mini and it's a GPS satellite system where I was able to send a text every night to my loved ones. I sent one to my husband, I sent one to my mom, just so everyone knew that I was okay. Like I had made it to camp and I'm going to bed. Like because I didn't have much energy for anything else. But at least I was able to communicate. And then sometimes, as we'll get into, I got into a bind and I was able to communicate to the outside and get out and get help. And so, for safety reasons, by far, that was my favorite piece of gear. Personally, I really enjoyed wet wipes. I know they're really heavy, but for me to be able to get into my tent, I had a lot of foot issues, a lot of blisters, and just like, I think my whole foot was blistered at one point. Um, but to be able to get into my tent and get into my PJs, and before getting into my PJs, just really like wiping down everything, just made me feel better inside. Not, I don't know how much good it did, but but I felt better. And then, I had these down booties that I got from Z Packs, and my feet were cozy. And when my feet are cozy, I can sleep really well. I loved my air mattress. I had the Xtherm, the Neo Xtherm, which was really great because I tend to sleep cold. So I enjoyed that immensely. And I loved my tent. I had the duplex. So it was perfect for the PCT. I don't think I would take it on the AT just because of humidity and all of that stuff. But for the dryness out west, perfect for me. And I'm tall. So I was able to like move around and do some yoga, and it was perfect for me. So those were my favorite pieces of gear that come to mind. And I loved my pack too. That I had a ULA circuit. It was awesome. Um, the least favorite piece of gear, I would have to say, is the bear canister. I mean, I know it's important. I know it's a necessity, but it's really heavy and it's bulky. And I just had a hard time like getting it open with my hands. They were freezing cold in the morning, and like it was just a lot. So yeah, the bear can is my least favorite piece of gear. I was so happy to get rid of that. Um, and then what was the other question was about
Are
something I
you
would
for
change.
yeah future hikes? Is there anything you're going to swap out in your system?
Um, I really liked everything that I had. I think the shoes were a problem. They stopped making the Ultra Lone Peak 4.5s. And, when we were hiking in Tahoe, I had gotten a pair of men's shoes actually for the Ultras, but they were the new fives. And they were just too big for my feet. And it didn't fit right, and I just had some problems. So I know that they just came out with the 6, but I really wish that they had a 4.5. I'll try the 6 and see how that feels. It's got to be better than the 5 for my foot because the 5 just didn't really jive. So I think the shoe portion, I'll have it dialed in a little bit more, and I thought I did, but they just didn't make the 4.5s anymore. And so, yeah, I think shoes are super important. Just finding what works.
Right. And it's a little frustrating too. I had a similar issue with the Brooks Cascadias where I was in between like the versions. So
Mhm.
when I was hiking, I think it was like I was hiking with the 13s and then they had the 14s, so I got the new ones, and um they like ripped all the way across the shoe. I just tripped over a root in Washington, and
Oh,
the whole like my toes were fully exposed in Glacier Peak Wilderness.
mhm.
Not a great place to not have shoes working, right? It's just like so
Absolutely.
steep. So my toes were like completely exposed for that whole stretch because of the shoe change. So anyway, I know how
Yeah.
frustrating that is.
Mhm.
It's interesting how they can make it so different from one to the other.
Yeah. Yeah, and everybody's foot is different, so they're appealing to a certain crowd. With 4.5s, and then the next time you try them on with the fives, you're like, "What happened? This is crap," And then the six are probably good. So we'll see. I'll have to test them out. But
Yeah.
yeah, choose.
Okay. Shoes. Got it. Okay.